if you don't understand the title of this video, I very, very strongly suggest you type Suzy Lu into the search box above and enjoy. This is the greatest tea in YouTube history, and it has been keeping me entertained for quite a few days now. So, enjoy. But for now, we've got our own gaming drama involving Scotland, so let's do that. What's up guys, ChasingLamely here and welcome to episode number 51 of Passport to Poland. As usual, like and subscribe is down there, please give them a smash just so I know you were here, because it's always good to get signs there are real life out there and not bots. In today's episode, I didn't realise the calendar was shaking out. I thought we were going to play 2 Europa Cup 2 games, but that's not how it's gone. So we're playing Aberdeen in the Europa Cup 2 first. And then I think maybe the next game we play will be the cup game against Siarka Tarnobrzeg, which I've never going to pronounce correctly unless I look it up. So that's kind of the plan. You have missed exactly one game, I believe. You've missed the game against Górnik Zabrze, where we just collapsed. We're 1-0 up with Waldemar List getting an absolute screamer. In fact, I don't normally show you goals, but I'm going to show you this goal because it's an absolute screamer. Waldemar List has scored exactly 2 goals for the club, the Polish Messi, and as first goals go, and I swear I've clicked it, as the first goal of the season, his second goal of his professional career goes, this is quite a special effort. So I thought I'd show you because, you know, he's the Polish Messi. He is our series hero. Although Gasker is about to put in is starting to put in a claim for series hero after his return, with the way he's been starting to look for us. There we go, free kick, edge of the box, bosh, straight through the keeper. Doesn't give the keeper a chance to save it. That was the goal. That was the goal. Waldemar List scoring that goal. But it was a 2-2 draw. He scored first. Kazaya Sterling made it 2-0. Then we just kind of gave up on life a little bit, and Roberto got himself a brace to get themselves back into the game. I was absolutely furious that they had capitulated like that. The media gave me an absolute shellacking for the fact that I hadn't taken a Kiev write-off because he was performing at a 6.4. However, I made these 3 subs before any of the last 3 goals went in. It was like the 60th, between the 60th and 66th minute I brought in all these subs. Kiev Wright was playing actually okay when I took these guys off, and then his performance just nosedived. So yeah, apparently it was my bad for not foreseeing that he would fall out of the game entirely and not taking him off, which, you know, I'm not psychic, but there we go. So, like I said, today we're going to be playing Aberdeen in the Europa Cup 2. For those of you who've maybe just joined us, this is how things are looking in the group. We've played at Brugge twice. We got a 0-0 draw against them in the last game and a very narrow 2-1 loss in Bruges, which was the last episode, if you'd like to see that. So we're still very much in with a shot of doing something in the group. A win against Aberdeen you would assume, either put us in the mix or within 1 point of the mix with the top 2, because obviously Leipzig and Bruges are about to play each other right now. So if one of them wins and we get a win, we should be able to get into the top 2, although if Bruges win, probably not, because that goal difference. We'll see what happens. But that is what's going to be happening today. So this is the preview for the game. We are the absolute favourites, which you'd expect, because we're from a slightly better league than the SPL. Only slightly better, I believe, but we are from a better league than the SPL. Mark Guay is out with an injury, which is very annoying. He's only out for another week or so, so he'll be back for the next game, but he does miss out today. Also, Nico Williams has pulled his knee ligaments and will be out for another 3 weeks, which is also disappointing. He'll be back for the next episode, or I should suspect. So, the starting lineup today is going to be Kjell Sherpen in goal, Felipe Cruz at right back, Gomez and Belodi are the centre-half pairing I've gone with Piaszczek as the left back. If he gets booked today, he'll miss the Leipzig game, which makes me tempted in fact, I say makes me tempted to take him out. We're just going to take him out. We're just going to put Danilic on instead of him, just to be on the safe side today. Finson is going to be the holding midfielder. Longstaff and Magoma are playing as the 2 Masalas. Waldemar List comes back after missing the last episode through injury. He only plays 75 minutes. but it will give us a chance to send probably Gasca or Brown in his place later on in the game, and then Wright and Sterling start at the top front two with Gasca, Puerto, Bargel, Brown, Delatka, McEachran and Piaszczek on the bench. That is the way we're lining up. So let's get into it and do this. These are the lineups for today's game then, looking like a good 4-5-1 for them, or 4-2-1-2-1, 4-3-3 it seems to think, with two DMs, whatever. It's a formation. Is anyone I reckon? I don't know Scottish football very well, to be honest. Matej Vuk, is he any good? Croatian 20 international, former Croatian 20 international who's played for Leeds. So he might be a danger, but you know he's apparently highly recommended for our team, to be honest. So maybe we'll take a look at him. Denis Spreni, I have no idea if I pronounced that right. It's Serbeni. Where's it from? It's just a German name. I don't know. Then I don't know how to pronounce his name. We'll concede that. He's come to them from Norwich though, so he might be a pretty good player too. This guy, Cosgrove up top, Sam Cosgrove, he's their top scorer. He's an English player. They signed from Carlisle, or sent on loan to Carlisle. He's been around a while. I guess came through at Wigan. Seems to have turned to a decent player if he's worth £5 million. So again, maybe something to keep an eye on. Ferguson, Lewis Ferguson, ex-Hamilton player, who's been at Aberdeen for a while. So there's a few players in here who look they could be dangerous. Like I said, I don't know any of their captains. This guy, Dean Campbell, who's a Scottish under-21 international. Good leadership stats for a 21-year-old. If I ever find any money and he looks like being a decent player, maybe he'll get picked up. Reece Lyon, who looks like he's played for, I thought it was a Chelsea shirt. It's not, it's a Morton shirt. Again, maybe a decent player. I feel like some of these guys I should recognise. I don't know why. I used to watch the SPL all the time. I haven't watched it in years. He's come from Dundee, so maybe he's all right. This guy, Vinko Soldo, who is also Croatian. They've picked up a lot of Croatians. He has come from Celtic. Before that, played for Dinamo Zagreb, who I think we've come across before, and again might be a decent. But I'm guessing Aberdeen are actually having quite a decent run in the Scottish League. They must be doing quite well to be picking up players of this quality and this value. They got a Czech under-21 international, Best Pelech, who played for Tamalika, so I've probably come up against him already. Probably didn't make that big an impression if he was at Tamalika and I didn't notice him, if I'm honest. He had one season in the extra class. It was our second season. He had a decent year, which I guess is what got him the transfer to Scotland, but I can't say I remember him. This guy, Josh Clark, English right back, formerly of Brentford, spent a lot of time out on loan at Burton and Barnet and things, it looks like, but he's also a decent player. I'm interested to see how Aberdeen do. They also Cameron Borthwick Jackson on the bench, which is worrying. Hal Virginia, the ex-Reading, Everton, Arsenal. Yeah, he's been around, but not rated very highly. Is that Cameron Borthwick? It is Cameron Borthwick Jackson, who usually turns into a decent player on FM. But apparently hasn't. He's been playing for Tranmere before joining Aberdeen. Let's have a quick look at Aberdeen, see where they are, and we'll see how that goes. They are currently sitting 8th in the Premiership, so not too well, to be fair. Although they might be in the same situation as us. They finished 3rd last year, so they're not having goal different games in hand problems. They're just having problems. Again, interesting. Paul Lambert, the manager too, which is good to see. Right, let's get into the game. Let's see what we can make happen, because I've done a lot of talking and not a lot of footballing, which is always problematic for us. Let's hand this over to the assistant and see what goes on here. Nothing major. Tunnel interviews, yay! The group which is the halfway point, viewing as an opportunity to position your team as well as possible. I mean, yes, obviously. They're the lowest scorers in the Euro Cup. We must consider us favourites to win. We'll respect them as much as anyone else because we don't know anything about them, because we haven't played a Scottish team before. We've got no frame of reference for how good we are in comparison to a Scottish team, with the exception of the league rankings. So they could be an absolutely outstanding team. They could be an absolutely awful team. We don't know. We don't know the comparison. Looks fairly even for the start though, so that's always worth us paying attention to. We'll see what happens. Apologies if there's a lot of cuts in this video, by the way, guys. I'm still having hay fever issues, which is very annoying. I've just been out to the supermarket, so it's got worse. Gomez with a pass to Felipe Cruz, who's on the overlap here. What can he do? Hopefully something. Pass to Matty Longstaff. Ball into a carry of right. Kerry Wright doesn't have anyone to play the ball to until he finds Longstaff out to Felipe Cruz. Cross is coming in to Matty Longstaff again. Longstaff has a pop. Matty Longstaff, 4th goal of the season. That is an absolute finish of a finish. He can be very, very proud of how that's worked out for him. I will say that for certain. Kerry Wright with the ball back to Longstaff. Felipe Cruz, some good movement, some good play there. And that's worked out very well. He's put it past Virginia. And that puts us 1-0 up on the night, which is good. That should improve our group position. In fact, I'm going to switch that to the group position thing if I can. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the league table. That's what I want there. There we go. So we're currently sitting in 3rd still, but Leipzig are beating Bruges. So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to go above them. Lisp with a corner. Puts it into Matty Longstaff. Matty Longstaff at the back post. I think Kerry Wright's going to be offside there. He shouldn't even have touched that ball. Shouldn't have touched the ball. They're going to get the offside here, I'm certain of it, because he was stood right on the goal line. He shouldn't have touched it. Shouldn't have touched it. Just, if he'd let it go, we'd be 2-0 up. But I can't hold it against him. He's scored some goals this season. But he did make an error there. I think he would concede he made an error there too. I think he would, like I actually know the guy and not just the virtual version of the guy. But I think as a striker you go, like, I should have left that. But there we go. We're still we're still 1-0 up. Sorry, 33 minutes on the clock. Keziah Sterling looks motivated, which is rare. So let's get creative and see if we can turn that motivation to something other than his performance levels dropping, because if he can get us a goal, that would be magical. Although in fairness, I'm not opposed to switching back to the wingers, moving them out to the left. Matty Longstaff has put the ball as the rain has started coming down in like stair rods apparently. There we go, we've got Finson out to Magoma, what can he do? Ball across to Felipe Cruz, making a run. Will he put the ball in? He's put the ball back to Valdemar List, into Longstaff. Matty Longstaff has another go. Almost double his tally for the night. Which would have been a fine way to finish it. I need to have a bit of a yell at Keziah Sterling just to get him to buck his ideas. I'm not going to say a bit of a yell. I'm not going to yell at him. I'm going to tell him he's got more to come from him, because it's not like he's been a bad player for us at any point recently. He's just having a bad game, and I need him to kind of buck his ideas up. Things are going badly for him. He's picked up a booking now, which isn't going to help matters at all, especially with a lack of striker options on the bench. Felipe Cruz with a free kick to Gomez, back to Cruz into Valdemar List, to Longstaff. Longstaff needs to find an option. Finson. Cruz has gone on an absolute run and no one's played it to him, but Danaluch is there on the left hand side. He's got the opportunity to get a ball in. He's found Keziah Sterling, who's been brought down. This penalty has been... it's not giving me a chance to change the penalty taker. I was going to put Keziah Sterling over the ball, because him getting a goal would have done wonders for his confidence. But Kerry Wright is going to be a man that steps up. 1-1 with the keeper. The keeper has saved it. Virginia makes the save. We've got ourselves a corner. Things are not looking terribly impressive right now, I've got to be honest, but Valdemar List will take the corner. Can he find the head of someone? Anyone? Nobody. Sterling, back to Gomez. Gomez has opportunities, but he just has a pop. He should have just slid that out wide, and that's going to get him sent off. That was an appalling tackle. Oh, he survived it, but that was absolutely appalling. Both our strikers are having absolute mares now because Kerry Wright missed a penalty, and that's going to destroy his confidence. So I think it's time to make a bit of a change up top, although I'm not quite sure how to make this change. Let's go with that. Move List to the left hand side. I think my best option for a striker is probably Izzy Brown. I think we'll put Gasca on as the left winger, because I don't think that's going to be better the other way around. It's not for anyone. So that'll be the change we make there. And I think we'll leave that as is, and we'll keep an eye on everyone else, because obviously there's going to be fitness issues later on in the game. A 1-0 is good enough to do the job for us, I'll be honest, but take both the strikers off, give them a message. Oh, Valdemar List with a header off the back post. Valdemar List shouldn't be getting near headers, ever, by the way. He's still 5'1". I don't think he's actually grown, which they usually do a little bit, but he apparently has stopped at 5'1". So yeah, he shouldn't be winning headers. That shouldn't be a thing in his arsenal, to be honest. But there we go. It is a thing that apparently he has in his options box. He's taking a free kick from deep, ball over the top. Who's he found? Magoma on the back post. Oh, just wide, just wide. He's getting more and more dangerous with free kicks, by the way. He is. You just saw he scored a free kick, but everything he puts in seems to be really, really dangerous at the moment. Campbell finds Spreni or Serbeni or whatever. Ferguson has a pop from deep, and that's poor. That was poor. We should have defended that better. And now Sherpen's taking a goal kick. Hopefully we can build from that. Was that lightning or is it just a glitch in the game? I don't know what just happened. I don't know if lightning's possible on FM. I don't think I've ever seen it. Gomez to Finson. Finson with a ball deep in zone half. Pass to Magoma. Back to Belodi, who has had a solid old game because we've not had to yell at him. And Danilic picks the ball up on the left. Belodi again. What can he do? Ball all the way back to Sherpen. Building from deep, which is, it's how I tell them to play, but against a team like Aberdeen, who are distinctly worse than us from what I've seen so far, oh, we should be doing better. We should be doing better. Ball over the top to Valdemar Liss. He's clean through. One on with the keeper, but he can't finish it, which is very disappointing. And we're going to have to make some choices about making that last sub once this highlight is over. Whether they're going to go straight on the counter. Let's try and defend this if we can. 4 guys around him, and he still won the header, which is disappointing. We're not winning headers when we should be. And now Clark has a chance to overlap, gets the cross in. Belodi can't make the header to intercept, and now Sam Cosgrove has punished us, which means it's definitely time to make a change. I just don't know where this change is coming from because it's going to be awkward. It's going to be an awkward one. Feel like... Oh, let's have a quick look. See who's got the best vision on the bench. 13. You've got a 9. You've got a 12. Piaszek has a 12, but also a booking. Puerto. Let's just see where the weakness is, because we need to create something. That's a 14. Magoma's on an 11. What's Finson on? Right, we're going to take Magoma off. Come on. But we'll swap those guys around because Longstaff playing as the box-to-box makes more sense. We'll put Bargel on and see if he can change the game from midfield, which would be really, really nice because he is a player I still would like to see develop into a regular first teamer. He doesn't look like he's actually going to get there. I think the first team's moving on faster than he's developing, which is disappointing. Belodi should have got that header. He's entirely at fault for not getting his head on the end of that. But sending on a defender isn't going to get us back into this game. So let's do some getting creative again. See what we can do to make this work. Valdemar Liss is tired, but he's our main creative force at this point. That's literally what he does for the team. So I cannot take him off. Even if I had a sub, I couldn't take him off right now. Big ball forward to Danilic, who's making a run. He is actually quite good on the left-hand side. It must be said, they're playing with caution, so they're obviously a bit scared. Gasker's taking a cut inside, though. He's had a pop from range, and he's put that well wide. And after me saying he was starting to look like he could become a first-team player, that's particularly disappointing from him, I'll be honest. It looks like it's going to finish 1-1, which is not the result I wanted to take today. It has put Aberdeen above us, too, which is really annoying, because I thought this was an opportunity to pick up 3 points. Akiaro Wright will be kicking himself for missing that pen. I was probably a bit unfair taking him off because of the poor penalty, but it is what it is. We are going to receive 55,000 for a draw, and Longstaff has shined even as we've failed to win, so we'll tell him he was superb. Okay, I am going to come back. I think I'm going to come back. Yes, I was going to come back for the cup game, so we're playing Pogon next. In the league. I'll tell you how that went in just a moment, if I remember where we are in the league table, and then we'll come back for this game, which is in about a week and a bit's time, against Siarka, who they are 2 divisions below us. Yeah, that's their second division, which I think is 2 below us. So yeah, we will come back for that game and we'll see how that goes. Stick around. So match number 2, and we are playing Siarka away in the Polish FA Cup. Bit of a change lineup today. We've had a few injury issues. Vaclav Dishal is injured, Valdemar Liss is injured, and so is Nico Williams, which is not a good combination of players for us to have injured. And Kolbein Birgir Finson is on international duty with Iceland, so we've had to make quite a few changes. And I've done what I've been doing actually quite a lot with cups, especially early rounds of the cups, where I've been using the highest potential players in the squad as the team, rather than using the first team. Bajalski, though, was supposed to be playing today, and he has found himself playing, I guess, for the under-18s. So that'll be a switch I have to make, which is not helpful. So I guess the backup is going to be Davis on the bench. There we go. That should sort itself out a little bit. That was inconvenient, wasn't it? We'll make it work. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, I've gone with it's essentially a combination of the regular first team and the backup brigade a little bit, because all these guys are the guys who have the potential to be the highest rated in their position in the team. So with that said, we're going to see Bradley Wilson play again. I think we saw him once last season. We saw him a couple of times last season. Bradley Wilson will play for us, the American goalkeeper, who I think might have the potential to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He's got a potential 5-star rating. He's rated as a promising goalkeeper by the media. High determination, everything else looks good. I don't know if he's got one of those media like the next Brad Guzan or something, but it doesn't look like it. But you know, I think he's got potential to certainly be an American national team goalkeeper. I think he's a very good player in the making. Delatka is starting at right back. Gomez and Guay are going to be the central defensive partnership. They are our usual central defensive partnership anyway, but they have the highest development potential, so they're going to get more football just by default. And then Piaszek is the left back. And anyone who wonders why I do this rotation thing, because we've done this a few times over the last few seasons, and some of those players haven't made it. But Piaszek was one of those guys who got a chance in one of these games and impressed and found his way into the squad. The other guy was brain fail. Bargel also took advantage of being one of these games and got himself a bit of a regular run in the team as well. So I do use this as a kind of sighter to see who's almost ready for the first team. Alex Rico is the holding midfielder behind McEachran and Longstaff, with Magoma playing in the advanced playmaker role, because he does do that quite well. Izzy Brown will start up top with Keziah Sterling, who is of course the captain. We have Felipe Cruz, John Davis, Gabriele Belodi, Sapowski, Juarez, Daniliuc, Borges, Bright and Furley on the bench. Furley came through last year's youth intake, and he looks like he could be special. I'm currently teaching him to play as a central midfielder, so that will be where he comes on, should he come on today, because I don't really have a need for a right midfielder. I don't think I've ever used a right midfielder with it on this save. I might have had a 4-4-2 briefly, maybe, but we'll see. It doesn't really matter. Going forward, if we're going to use wingers, they're going to be attacking wingers anyway. I think he's going to get more football playing if he can learn it as a Masala. So that's kind of his development plan, and we'll try, if we're doing well today, which we should be at some stage, then that'll probably be where he gets used. Let's have a look at their key players. Their top assist guy is this guy, Oskar Goprovsky, who I'm guessing is not a real player. Well, he is a real player. 27 rating by our scouts, so we're not going to worry too much about him. The captain is this guy, who is Jakob Glatz, who again 37 rating for our team from the scouts. So sort of right back playing out of position, and this guy, the striker, Michal Fornek. Again, you know, he's played 104 games for him. He's 22 years old. Those stats, just using the masking system, you look and go, actually, he might be alright. But apparently our scouts don't think so. So I think we're going to be fairly safe today. We'll see how this goes. We'll do the assistant team talks, because why not? What's happening in the tunnel? Do we feel our ambitions are matched by the chairman? I assume so. He let me do a coaching badge. Do you think our side will find motivation from against a team like Siarka? Well, they're 2 divisions below us, so we'd hope not. That works. Can you talk us through our change today? We just rotated. Left Elijah Dixon modernised due to his injury problems. He didn't make the cut. Basically, he's declined. His potential has declined quite a lot recently, which is slightly worrying. I'm not certain I'm going to keep him around much longer if he doesn't start fulfilling some potential. He feels like a player I could probably turn a profit on, so I might just get rid of him in the window if I can. We're 10 minutes in. We've not really made any inroads at all, which is disappointing, because we are on a proper tear of form. We're 10 games unbeaten, by the way, in all competitions. or 10 games unbeaten in the league, I think it is actually, come to think of it, because we did lose to Bruges. But yeah, we're 10 games unbeaten in the league. So, you'd hope we'd have the ability to beat a team from 2 divisions below us. And we've got ourselves a corner. Rico is taking it, crossing. Doesn't really beat the first man. He probably isn't a great corner taker. Magoma, ball over the top, way over the top, finds Longstaff, who has a pop, and hit the outside of the post, and it's gone wide. And that's our first apparent opportunity of the game. We're dominating them. We're the only team with shots on the board so far. But looking good. If we win this, we play Rakoff in the next round. By the way, who we've just demolished. I didn't show you that full game. We've just demolished. I'll show you after. We did a bit of a number on them, with again a slightly rotated side. So, if we can just get past Siarka, you'd think we could get past Rakoff and make it into the third round. But that first half performance was appalling. We're going to be assertive, and I'm not happy because I'm not happy. Seems fairly self-explanatory. We should be leading this game. The fact that we're not is frankly disgusting. It is not the one. It's not the one we were looking for. I also don't have the ability to rearrange much in terms of going to the wingers formation, because I only have 2 players who can play on the wing, on the field, and they're both up top. I'm going to make a sub because Izzy Brown has decided to not show up. We'll send in a Kierre Wright because he's on the bench, and we need a goal. And he was kind of there as my insurance policy. That was why I put him on the bench. I need a guy I can rely on to score some goals, as Alex Rico is going to take the corner. Whips it over the top. Doesn't beat the first man again. Igor Gomez picks it up. I've got to find someone better to put on corners, I think. That's going to be a mission in just a second. Matty Longstaff bangs it in from range. We've got the 1-0 lead. And we'll do the replay, and then while I think about it, I'm going to take Rico off the corners because he's just useless at them. I know that goal came from a corner, but let's face it, Rico's contribution here was that. Gomez just happened to pick out Matty Longstaff, who thought, I'll have a shot. And yeah, we've got a 1-0 lead, but let's not try and give Alex Rico too much credit for it. Let's do the corner takers before I forget. Set piece takers is the screen I want. Let's give it. I can't give it a pause from where I'm at. Why are we set piece takers? No, there we go. Corners. Who's our best corner taker? It's probably Paris Magoma, of who's on the field right now, which would make all the sense in the world because he'd usually be the guy that would be taking them if Valdemar Liss wasn't there. And Felipe Cruz wasn't there. Direct free kicks. Let's just make sure we've got that set up. So I know Kierre Wright is our best corner taker. He is. That's not in dispute. But I don't really want a striker on it. I just don't. That's not the way I play. I want him in the box to be able to receive corners, ideally. That's my own fault because I didn't set up any set piece takers at any point during the save, apparently. Which is, that's not how you play FM, kids. Make sure you set up your set piece takers. We're going to send on Felipe Cruz. Oh, we're going to have an under 22 player. Of course we do. Filet, I think, is the only. Oh, and Sapowski's there. Decisions to make. Let's swap these guys round because that's not working out. In fact, I'm going to keep Longstaff on. I know he's tiring, but we'll take off George McEachran. We will send on Filet, I think. Yeah, give him 15 minutes, see what he can do. And then I can take off Delatka, I can send on Felipe Cruz. That should work out quite nicely. And we'll see how that goes. Like I say, Filet is learning to play central midfielder. He hasn't quite got there yet, but he should be more than good enough to fill the role against a team 2 divisions below us, you would hope. Or he's going to prove me wrong and make a colossal mistake that's going to cost us the game. Now you watch. I've said it, I've put the kiss of death on him as Athenstadt finds his way through. Someone needs to defend, which no one does. They've got a free header at the back post, and luckily it just goes over, because that could have been super embarrassing if that had gone badly. We are only leading 1-0 as well, which is disappointing. Like, it's not. We're not doing a number on them like we should be. This should be a team we put 4 or 5 past. Let's go attacking. Why not? Piaszczek. Longstaff is going to pick that up. He's been fouled in the box, surely. He has. And now it looks like Kierre Wright is going to be the guy that steps up for the free kick. Or sorry, for the penalty even. And should give us a 2-0 lead, make it quite comfortable. He does. The keeper doesn't even move. He just kind of falls to his knees and begs for mercy. 12th goal of the season for Kierre Wright. And, you know, we've made harder work of this than we should have. We've made much harder work of this than we should have. I'm giving them praise because it fires them up. But we've made so much harder work of this than we needed to. We should have been able to absolutely dominate them. The fact that we haven't is a little bit disappointing. It is nice to see Akira Wright actually score a penalty though. That will build his confidence back up. He's missed 2 in the last few games, so that's not ideal. But yeah, a 2-0 win, solid but unspectacular. And that's going to be a good old place to end the episode. I'll just show you the Rakoff result. We are playing Rakoff in this game. We knew we were playing Rakoff because that was how the draw came out. It literally said we were playing Rakoff, so I didn't say Rakoff or Podale. It said we were playing Rakoff. So they clearly knew something I didn't. Yeah, there we go. We beat Pogon 2-0. It was quite comfortable. Like I said, we made a few changes. Not major changes, but little things. Belodi coming in was the biggest of them, and a few things just got rearranged a little bit just to try some stuff out. So yeah, that was a decent, solid win. So Rakoff, we'll play Pogon. We're playing Rakoff in the next round of the cup. We're playing Pogon the next round. I'm so confused. We're playing Pogon. Pogon with the team we beat, and the other team we're playing. It's nothing to do with Rakoff. Oh, it's been a long, long lockdown. Right, we're going to come back in the next episode. I think what we'll do is we will play Leipzig and Levy in the next episode, and then we'll play Aberdeen and Leipzig just to put us back on an even keel. I think that's going to be the plan, just because I want to make sure we bookend the group stage in the right spot. So I think that's where we're going to end up with this. We've apparently hammered Siarka, which I disagree. Confirmation will play Pogon away because we finished higher in the league last season than they did, and Matty Longstaff will earn himself just a touch of praise for being a good player. Right, let's wrap this episode up, guys, because that feels like a really good plan. Thank you very much for watching. I have, as always, been Chasing Lamely, and until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Socials are down here. Like and subscribe down there. If you've got yourself with a free minute, go check out the Suzy Lu debacle. I'm going to go swim in the ocean of tea that is happening on YouTube right now. I suggest you come join me. Until next time, guys, have a good one.